And former Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama are thanking U.S. foreign aid workers as most staff at USAID left Monday after the Trump administration shut it down. Bush praised their role in saving lives, while Obama called closing the agency a mistake. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Whoa, now. What's happening, good people? And how you doing? What's going on with you? Hoping everybody's having a good day. Hoping that you are staying cool. Good Lord, somebody need to stay cool. Because it's hot outside. Oh, baby. It's hot outside. And if you don't have to be out there, don't. Because I just came from within there, without there, within there, whichever one you want to take.
Boy, it's so hot out there.
It's hot out there.
It's so hot out there. I saw the devil with a daiquiri. That's how hot it is. Yeah, I know. You ain't nothing else to say. I know.
No, that was a pawpaw joke. That's all that is. When did you start telling pawpaw jokes? I didn't know you. I didn't know you is pawpaw though, right?
Yep.
Yeah. that's
Three
pawpaw.
grandsons.
That's a pawpaw joke. You got another one? You got another one? Pawpaw jokes? Give
Let me ponder on that.
Ponder?
Yes, let me ponder.
I ain't mad at you, Ponderer. The Ponderer.
The Ponderer and Mr. Freezy. Mr. Frosty. That's
Mr.
it,
Frosty. I was getting ready to say it ain't Freezy. It's Mr. Frosty. That's it. I got to say hello to Miss Deborah. Today I was out with one of my friends who came to town and we had lunch. And sitting at the table, a lady walked up and she said, I know you. You Gerard. I listen every day. Miss Deborah, thank you for that. Make an old man feel good. Man, she said, I listen every day. And she was talking about yesterday's show. She said, I can't wait till Wednesday. So you won't hear. But did you know the story? You don't know the story, huh?
You tell, what is the
You
story?
weren't here yesterday. We got guests tomorrow. We have a guest tomorrow that is going to join us for the entire show. And she's got a story to tell. When I tell you again what she went through, this lady went through hell and back. And honestly, I don't even know if she made it back yet. Because she got shot 4 times. 3 of the bullets they removed. One of them is still in her. They can't remove it. They're scared to remove it because it's a couple of centimeters from her heart. And that was domestic violence. But she was re-victimized right after that. To the point where I need her to tell the story. And you ain't going to believe some of this stuff, bro. You're not going to believe it. This makes number 3. We had Jamie. Had Shantae. This makes number 3. Think about it. I'll tell you more off air. But she's going to join us in the studio and give us the 411 about, how's life now after being a victim and then being re-victimized and what the case is. Because after she told me the case, I said, wait a minute. What? Yeah. So, tell all your friends that they need to be a part of that conversation on tomorrow. Because it's going to be interesting how stuff works. Good Lord, how stuff works. And I don't even want to tell the story. I'm going to let her tell it. Because it's bad. And can you imagine her trying to convince me that, I got shot 4 times? I was like, you got shot 4 times. And then she said, hold on. Went on the phone and said, here go the photos. And I'm sitting there looking at this woman with all the meat hanging off of her. Yeah. Yeah.
That's rather graphic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's rather graphic. So it's terrible. Who says that? It's terrible.
Terrible.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
Is that let me see, what's the basketball player? It's terrible. Bald head. Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
It's terrible. Just terrible. So she gonna join us, but I hate to say this, but that's just part of the terribleness that's gonna come out. Is that a word? Terribleness?
It is now.
Mm-hmm. That's just one part. Wait till you hear about the re-victimization. That's terrible. Terrible, terrible. She get terrible on one part, then get terrible, terrible on the other part. I don't know which one is terrible and which one is terrible, terrible. But whichever one it is, we're gonna have to go get us a drink after tomorrow. You might want to call and let your wife know that after the show tomorrow, that we're going to somebody's bar. And you don't drink.
Yeah, especially I don't drink.
You're gonna drink tomorrow. You're gonna want to drink. And I can hear you, I can hear you now cracking the mic tomorrow and saying, yeah, bro, let's go get that drink. Bruh. No, bro. No. This a bruh.
Bruh.
This a bruh.
Oh, damn.
This a rub your belly, bruh. Because you're going to sit back and go, I didn't think nothing like that could ever happen in the times and days that we live in.
Well,
Bruh.
nowadays, with Trump as president, I'm not surprised by anything.
Mm-mm. This a bruh.
Bruh.
This ain't just a bruh. This a bruh. So tomorrow, the big day around here. And Miss Deborah, who I met today, walked up to me. She said, excuse me, but are you Gerard? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I listen to you every day. And I can't wait till tomorrow because I want to know what in the world you talking about. I said, Miss Deborah, thank you so much. You make an old man feel good when you walk up to me and tell me that you're listening to the station. But you're going to be really, everybody need to tell somebody they need to listen tomorrow. Because tomorrow is going to be terrifying. And I don't know how many times I've even went on to discuss the disgust that I had with what's happening. It's terrible. It's just terrible. I don't know how else to explain it to you, but it's terrible. So, tomorrow's show, we shall be here to give you the 411 on what we're talking about and been talking about. Let's get into some news. Because some things that are happening now, y'all got to be asking, well, where the people? Well, who are the people that got our backs? Well, where are the people that are looking around and saying, this is great, but, this ain't good, but I know that somebody going to file suit on my behalf. Let's talk about that. Filing suit on my behalf. Or you going to a federal judge to try to overturn federal action on a nationwide basis. I am so angry with this Supreme Court that they're letting this Supreme Court rulings stick on a nationwide basis, but have a problem with judges or federal judges in certain areas that come back and say, hey, wait a minute, they can't enforce this nationwide ban on whatever on this part of town, and it's nationwide, so you put an injunction on it. So they went to federal court to try to get the federal court to stop federal judges or federal judges that they don't think should have the opportunity to stop federal action, to say, hey, you all can't act on a nationwide basis. Like, what? You federal. But you're federal. Huh. We're going to see how that works out. The other thing that I got to put out here is y'all stay tuned because we're going to be giving the updates on what's happening with this partial verdict that has been put forth in the Diddy trial. They're talking about it now that their partial verdict has been reached. Like what? Yep. A partial verdict in the Diddy trial by the jury has already been reached. What y'all think? 504-582-9422.
That ain't good.
Nope. It was too quick. Now, when it takes them a long time, they debating it. But this one was slick, quick, just like some baby oil, baby. It was slick and quick.
I'm trying to get home to watch The Godfather. We need to make this vote quick.
So they've already put a partial verdict in. Already. Now, the prosecutors are arguing that if they do that, they're asking for a repeat of the duty of the judges to redo the verdict. And supposedly they're saying that they're coming at rapid fire. I'm like, what does that mean? Is that the decision part that is going to be rapid fire? What does that mean? So I hate to try to ask my audience on the fate of this man, because you don't want to hear nobody say, well, what you think they're going to do? What you think they're going to do? Are they going to prosecute him or not? Is he going to be guilty or not? But so much stuff has come out in this trial. It makes me ask the question, what do you think is going to be the fate of Sean Puffy Combs? Because there was so much stuff to come out. Some of it has nothing to do on whether he's guilty of racketing, RICO, trafficking. He might have been aggressive enough that he could have got some domestic violence charges against him, but they didn't try him on that.
I got my other pawpaw joke.
Oh, Lord.
They're going to put him in a cell with Suge Knight.
Racketing, conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution, and more. Those are some of the charges that he could be charged with.
Yeah, you just going to ignore me like that, bro?
Yeah, I just, you had your pawpaw jokes for a minute. That wasn't a pawpaw joke at all. I don't even know why you think that was
I saw your mind start working when I said
I was
it.
trying to figure out how he put that as a pawpaw joke. Oh, that ain't no pawpaw joke. It ain't funny. That man with Suge Knight in the jail, he'd be Puffy all right. All right. So,
Suge and Puff.
Puff. Yeah, so I don't know. What you think? You think they're going to get him?
Oh, he's done, bro.
You think so?
He's done. All baby oil in the world can't save him. Try to keep him laughing. I see you on
I'm trying not to even engage in your conversation because you think he is done.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, out to get him, bro. It's like the stuff that he did, man.
That's a swinger's life, though.
Yeah, but they exposed him for it. Even though that's been going on for years and years and years, they had to make a example out of somebody. So
Somebody asked me the other day.
Why not one of the richest black men?
Somebody asked me the other day, how come our richest entertainers, the black guys, why they're getting in so much trouble? I said, well, first of all, I think that much money or having that much money kind of makes you think you're a little invincible. It makes you think, and I hope this don't offend nobody, but it is what it is. It kind of makes you think that you can do what they do, and you can't.
They gotta knock you down a peg, just like when Bill Cosby was trying to purchase
NBC. Yeah,
let's knock that Negro down a peg.
Who do you think he is?
Yeah.
So,
uppity Negro.
You can't do what they do, and don't think that nobody watching you. Second of all, we living in a time right now where you can't even tell a woman, and this is no slap on women, but you can't even tell a woman you look nice in that dress without somebody saying, you heard what he said? So some of the things that I hear in this case, look, somebody asked me, well, did you know about all this stuff? You was in the music industry, you know all that stuff, da-da-da. Pretty much. But who I'm going to tell? And little old me tell it? Y'all ain't going to believe me, no way. Never engaged in none of that stuff. Never engaged in it.
No.
No. But you knew about it.
I worked for Bad Boy, and I didn't engage in that stuff.
But you knew about it.
Oh, I definitely knew about it.
You heard about some of them parties.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple of them I went to, but didn't know. And when I found out, turned around.
Oh, you went to Colette's?
And walked out the door. Shut up.
You went to the green door?
The green door. Mm-hmm. Yep. Been there, done that. So, yeah. You been to Colette's before?
Hell no.
Don't tell us.
I got invited, but I didn't go. No.
Donna listening, huh? You know you ain't.
Even if she wasn't, I didn't partake in that kind of stuff like that.
Who is it? It's the Wicker. Bring your liquor. I ain't talking about the drink.
Go to break.
More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Real issues, real talk, real solutions. Miss an episode of The Reality Check? You can catch every episode anytime. Search WBOK Media on your favorite podcast app to tap the bold commentary, real-time reactions, and powerful perspectives from the people and leaders shaping our city. Download, share, and rate it 5 stars because the real ones always stay informed.
Connect with NOLA Public Schools. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X for the latest updates. Sign up for District Digest, our official newsletter where we share district achievements, celebrate student successes, and keep you informed about our vision of providing a high-quality education. And don't miss our school board meetings. Watch in person or live stream on YouTube. Stay informed. Stay engaged. Visit NOLAPublicSchools.com today. Again, that's NOLAPublicSchools.com.
The National World War II Museum. Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
As we reflect on 10 years of New Orleans East Hospital,
we are humbled by the incredible support we received from you.
When the Board of Commissioners first started meeting, we did so with one mission:
to bring quality, equitable care to our community.
Your trust in us has allowed us to grow and expand from emergency services to various specialties, with more still to come.
As we celebrate a decade of service and partnership, we thank you for your continued support and being part of our future.
Calling all high school students interested in sports. The Starting Block, a program created by the family of the late chef Leah Chase and by yours truly, Arnie Filko, is accepting applications now for our 3rd cohort, which begins this fall. Learn from the experts in sports administration, marketing, broadcast journalism, and more in this prestigious program run in partnership with Tulane Center for Sport. If you're a rising freshman, sophomore, or junior interested in a future career in sports, visit thestartingblocknola.com, thestartingblocknola.com to learn more and to apply for our 18-month free program.
Hello, I'm Gary Clark. Please tune in to Dr. Clark 101, The Living Classroom, which is broadcasted weekly every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. on WBOK 12:30 a.m. on your dial. And as always, it's been a pleasure.
New Schools for New Orleans is committed to finding and keeping great teachers for our students. If you or someone you know is interested in becoming a teacher for the 24-25 school year, visit our website to learn more and apply. www.neworleansteacherjobboard.org.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you Tuesday afternoon. It is hot in the city, boy. It need to rain today. It really need to rain today just to calm it down a little bit. It is smoking out there, so I'm hoping that we do get some rain, but not no floods and stuff like we usually.
The only thing about here, when it rains, it gets hella hot afterwards.
Yeah, that
in the
heat
LA,
comes back in.
it gets cold.
Yeah,
But here,
Yep. So
I went to let Maxie out today. She looked at me like, "Yeah, bro, what? I ain't going out there." She said, "I'll hold it."
Your dog said no? The Rottweiler?
Yeah, she said no.
Oh, Lord.
I ain't going in that yard.
I'll hold it.
I'll hold it.
Well, I got to talk about a couple other things, too, that have hit my news page. And with it hitting my news page, it made me ask the question. The new pick for the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Louisiana. That pick is David Courcelle, one of the tapped hardline conservatives that will lead federal prosecutors across the country since his inauguration. And he's overhauling the U.S. Attorney Department. So a hardline conservative is the new pick for the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of the United States, which is going to be us. And how y'all feeling about that? Now, I wonder how everybody is also feeling. And I shouldn't have to wonder, y'all. I shouldn't have to wonder. But I'm wondering how everybody else is really wondering and saying, okay, cool or not cool about your senators for the state of Louisiana. Republican Party colleagues that have gone forward in the Senate and said, let's pass Trump's big, beautiful bill, and to know that our senators, Bill Cassidy and John Kennedy, both voted yes to pass it. Conservative state, red state, but our senators know it's something wrong with this thing, and both of them, Bill Cassidy and John Kennedy, voted yes to pass it. Hello. Can you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? So, where's the outrage? Is there any? Anybody? Nobody? Do I hear crickets? Okay. That's crickets for you. Nobody said anything? Okay. Let me leave that alone then. On the death, well, not on his deathbed because he passed. He did pass. Reverend Jimmy Swaggart. Y'all remember Jimmy Swaggart? I have sinned. Wait a minute. You know I'm going to hell, right? So here you go. I have sinned. Here's the other one.
Oh, now you're wrong for
I
that.
know, I went too far. It's too far. Too soon? I have sinned.
Sarah, you have a call. Go to the call and save yourself. Thank God they can only see that on Facebook. Well, dang, Instagram, YouTube.
Mr. Ernest. Mr. Ernest?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
My comment regarding this so-called big, beautiful bill and the Medicaid cut is simply this. The statistics says that some 40 to 45% of these cuts will affect rural clinics and white Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Until they start feeling the pain and they start giving some backlash, nothing is going to happen. The president has done a lot of things that hurt his own constituents.
Yep.
And at some point in time, their pain point has to get enough that they got to do something. And I'm hoping that's before the midterm elections.
So, Ms. Ernest, one of the things I don't think that everybody understand, and this is for everybody. This ain't just for us. This is for white people, Native Americans. It's going to be for the Hispanic community, white, black, whoever. Louisiana is like 60 to 80% dependent on money from the federal government.
That is correct.
They're about to cut all that out.
That is correct.
What are we going to do? Sit back and cry? So I'm trying to figure out, because look, Sunday I was sitting out at Landry's having lunch at the church. And these folks were riding up in their boats. Oh, they big, beautiful boats with that Trump flag flying. And I was saying to myself, how long will that last? Because they don't even understand that the cost of gas is starting to go back up again. So, yeah, it's going to affect them too.
Until they're hurt enough, until their pain point is sufficient enough, they're going to go along to get along. But at some point in time, because he's indiscriminately cutting a lot of things that affect his constituency and ours.
Mm-hmm.
At some point in time, there's going to be accumulation of this chaos, and there's going to be some backlash. Because he don't have any respect for who voted for him or whether you did or not.
Nope.
So I believe it's just a matter of time because he's not going to quit. This is not going to be the last of it.
How long you think it's going to go on? How long you think it's going to take?
I'm hopeful that this will accumulate enough chaos and enough pain by midterms, which is October of 2026.
At least by October?
Right, because that's our first opportunity to do something. You know, a lot of people don't understand these are executive orders. That's not law.
Mm-hmm.
All this can be changed. All this can be changed. Now, my problem is that the Democratic Party don't understand correct messaging to take advantage of all this.
So all right, Mr. Ernest, you just said the magic sentence there. So here you go, buddy. Here it is. I hope you're ready for this. What should that messaging sound like?
That messaging, first of all, need to be unified all across America. Secondly, that messaging needs to be on major media for a long period of time. Typically what the Democrats do, they wait 3 months for election, then they want to blast the media. You have to change people's mind long before this.
Right.
Second point is that messaging is they need to talk to more than just Democratic constituents. They need to talk to these poor whites and let them know how they're getting screwed. They need to do that.
Mm-hmm. But you think they're going to believe that?
You know what? When you go to the grocery and you don't have enough money, when your clinic closed and you have to go 150 miles to another clinic, they'll believe it.
Yep, that's what they're talking about now, that folks are going to have to go to clinics or some type of medical place at least an hour or 2 hours away, because these rural medical clinics and hospitals, because of this messing with Medicare, they're going to shut down.
And that's going to be, I think that's going to be the breaking point, the turning point, because that will affect them, I think, more than it will affect us. Most of the black people live in populated areas like New Orleans and Baton Rouge and Shreveport. You got lots of hospitals. They're not going to close. Mm-hmm. But those small ones, they're gonna buckle, and then they're going to feel the pain. Yep.
And those that live in those types of rural areas are going to have to travel an hour, 2 hours away just to get some type of medical help. So, yeah, you are correct.
They'll see what Trump is doing to them. But the problem is the Democratic Party needs to point that out to them, not just give messaging to us and to their supports. They need to point that out to them. Mm-hmm. Some percentage of them will start to feel it and start to understand this man is really not helping us.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right, my friend. Thank you, sir. That's I see you paying attention. I'm glad.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, my brother.
I feel like sometimes people ain't paying attention, and sometimes when you bring these topics up, they're sitting there with you can hear crickets. So I'm just wondering. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you much.
Okay.
All right. Makes a lot of sense to me. Makes a whole lot of sense to me. Let me answer the phone here. Hey, how you doing? Who's this?
Hey, Elmo. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Mr. Elmo.
Well, can I make a comment?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll make a comment on the news today in terms on P. Diddy.
You do what now?
I'd like to make a comment in reference to what's going on in the news of today with P. Diddy.
Uh-huh.
And I love the brother, man. You hate to see how people get in a situation that they're in, but this is a comment that I want to make.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna mention these names, and it's gonna ring a bell real quick. O.J. Simpson. Okay. P. Diddy. Bill Cosby. Tiger Woods. Why did I mention those brothers? Oh, I'd like to thank you. It's not funny. The reason why I mentioned the brother's name, all those brothers significant because they had money.
Hmm?
All those brothers were significant because they had money.
Somewhat, I would say yes. That is true.
Huh?
I would say somewhat.
And the
yes.
fact that they had money in the course of their careers, intentionally or not intentionally, they touched toes. Okay. You remember Dick Gregory?
Hmm?
Do you remember Dick Gregory?
That's a friend of mine, yes. Before he passed, and Dick Gregory was a friend of mine.
Okay, Dick Gregory there was no more of an activist than Dick Gregory. Now, this is what Dick Gregory said. I listened to his podcast and all. I followed Dick Gregory very religiously. The brother made a lot of sense. He said that, don't you think it's kind of strange? Bill Cosby, one, he was on the edge of buying NBC. He said, ain't that something? How strange it is? He's one of the wealthiest brothers on the planet, on the verge of buying NBC, had the money, had the clout, had the reputation. White folk loved him, if you will, whatever that means. And all of a sudden, that crashed, because everybody was testifying him all kind of dumb stuff that he did. God knows how long ago that was, when I was a kid. Then all of a sudden, it became significant, and he wound up going to jail. So it's amazing how wealthy brothers reach the point that they think white folks like them. Please forgive me. They think white folks love them and like them, and guess what? Just like it's once they praise them, they punish them. Now, in terms of P. Diddy, I don't know if a lot of white folks like it. Because P. Diddy had money. And wealthy blacks get punished if they slip up. So I'm just saying it's a lesson to be learned on our people who had a little cloud success, and trust me, they had money.
Mm-hmm.
And P. Diddy wasn't the only one. Look, P. Diddy to me was the only one doing that the things that they accused him of doing. Now I'm not gonna get to the morality because I ain't holding it down to say right or wrong. But P. Diddy wasn't the only one doing that dumb stuff. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
But P. Diddy gonna get punished. He gonna get punished. Now I just hope all of the RICO counts, because you know they're going federal with him. The RICO counts federal. That's federal. And I heard his attorney say just because he had some things that was not what you call up to moral standards in terms of what me and you would like, that may not be unethical. It may be immoral, but it's not illegal. So we're gonna see how far they go with that. You know.
So the question is, do you think they're going to come with the full, I guess, verdict from the jury today, or are they still?
Well,
arguing?
I just heard it partial, Gerard, and
Right, they just
partial.
got partial. That's it.
Yeah, it's just partial. They I don't know how far they're going with the other counts, you know. But RICO is dangerous. It's serious because they get you in all kind of dumb stuff, you know.
Yeah, I don't think that they proved. Now, this is just me again, so I don't know, and I don't think that they proved that he was doing RICO charges, prostitution, and trafficking. I don't think that they proved that he was. I think that they brought up the fact that he was doing some probably stuff we don't like, but that young lady was there saying that she liked what she was doing. And then she said she didn't like what she was doing. And one of those guys was like, man, I'm getting paid to bonk off some of these girls. Yeah, I like what I'm doing. Because I'm a professional male escort.
Well, Gerard, this is the thing. The thing is and no one has mentioned this, and I'm sure you'll think about what I said. I think what's dangerous about P. Diddy, and I'm not laughing because it's funny because it's sad to laugh at something, but it's not laughable, but I'm laughing. What P. Diddy, I think, is it's all the people that have been off the freak-off parties that he had, and how many serious people that we look at like Holy the Dow, white folks too, and all of a sudden that can't be getting out. So that's why P. Diddy got to go, because he knows too much on who was involved in those things that he had. The same with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein had to book on people, God knows who was involved in that foolishness they were doing. But we keep on saying, oh, they won't get, well, they got Jeffrey Epstein, they can get P. Diddy.
So, what you think?
I don't want to think that deep and hard, brother. I just hope that, huh?
You said you don't want to think that deep and hard?
No, I mean, because it's not. I mean, it's serious with him, not with me, because I'm not involved in that foolishness. But I hope and pray the brother don't go down like I think he could go down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all I'm saying, brother. I mean, but you know, when the feds go after you, brother, they get all the attorneys and all the money to get you. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump pulled a rabbit out of the hat and just spike. Say, you know what, P. Diddy, all what you did, I'm gonna free you like he did the mayor of New York.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised.
Well,
not that he loved P. Diddy. Now I don't know what relationship P. Diddy could have with Trump politically. You never know. I don't know. I don't know that would know him that well politically.
Wait a minute, you what?
But I said I don't know him that well to think how he feel politically about P. Diddy.
Oh, you talking about Trump?
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if he pardoned him. And I wouldn't have a problem with that. And I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Why?
Well, because, hey, man, I mean, they had people that did worse than him that's out free.
Well, that don't make it right, though, what he did.
No, wait. I didn't say make it right.
But you wouldn't have a problem with it. Yeah, you saying you didn't make it right, but you said you wouldn't have a problem with it.
No. What I'm saying is, if Trump would pardon P. Diddy,
you wouldn't have a problem with it.
Not really. I mean, because first and foremost, who gives a rat's ass who would I? Please forgive me what I think. I mean, I'm sure they have people worse than P. Diddy is out free.
I would have a problem with it because
And I ain't mad at you, brother. I ain't mad at you one bit.
No, I would have a problem with it for a couple of reasons. And that was, first of all, you are spending the people's money to prosecute the man. So how much is this going to cost us to do this with this trial of the century? That's what they're calling it. How much did this cost New York City? How much of this was putting people's business out? This young lady probably had to relive some type of catastrophic issues, showing that video of her getting kicked in the middle of the middle of a hotel by the elevators. A lot of other folks had to come and testify. They put a lot into this, and then you're going to come right in and pardon the man. Yeah, I got a problem with it because you wouldn't get the pardon, and neither would I.
Well, no, guess what? I'd be. You're right. No, neither
don't
one
pardon
of
me
us would
because
get
of
the
celebrity status. Don't pardon me because of celebrity status. Pardon me because you didn't think I did anything wrong. But the proof is in the pudding.
No question about it.
So that's why I would have a problem with any of
And
it.
I'm not. And look, and listen, I'm not mad at you because if you feel that way, I mean, the bottom line is, I guess what I'm saying, Jerron, I do agree on what you're saying, but I ain't gonna get too overly worked on that because when you look at politics and people with money, a lot of strange things do happen.
Mm.
So I'm not gonna get, I mean, I'm sure they have white folks done the same thing he did or better, and you might say, oh, you're saying you condone it? No, sir, I'm not. I'm just saying that's above my pay grade. If Trump would say, you know what? What can I do about it? I mean, I can't do about it. I mean, I could play that holy dial over it, or well, look, man, Trump gonna do what he wants, and he might do that to think that Robin Hood mentality that he feels some of us had, not you, that say, well, you know what? I might get more line with black folk if I would pardon PJ.
He ain't trying to get in line with us. He's not trying to get in line with us. But anyway, I got to take my break.
No, I know he ain't. I know he ain't.
I got to take my break. All right, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, Miss Elmo.
All right, buddy.
All right, Patrick, hold on. Patrick, hold on. We're coming back. More
Didn't catch this morning's conversation? No worries. The Good Morning Show is now a podcast on all your favorite apps. Just search WBOK Media, find The Good Morning Show, and make it part of your daily routine. Download it, share it, and rate it 5 stars. Start your day with something real.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month by the community scientists at Rise St. James. This month, we spotlight phthalates, chemicals added to plastics, especially PVC, to make them more flexible and durable. But there's more. Research shows phthalates may disrupt hormones, affect reproductive health, and contribute to environmental pollution impacting our communities. Join us as we explore how these additives shape our everyday lives and the world around us. For more details, visit risestjames.org. Empower your knowledge with Rise.
Hi, this is Arnie Filko. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events to sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join Carrie and I every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Carrie Show. See you soon.
I'm Wendell Pierce. Thanks for making WBOK your station. WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. My number 504-582-9422. Patrick, I'm sorry for the hold. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you. First of all, I'll be straight up and say that I am a right-wing Republican, and I'm probably the only one remaining in Orleans Parish, I think.
You're not, but that's okay.
Okay. Okay. But I have never owned any MAGA hat or MAGA T-shirt. In fact, I'll say that there is a Latin meaning to that phrase or that expression.
Isn't it the devil
MAGA?
or something? Doesn't MAGA in Latin mean like the devil?
It means rich.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was close. Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. Okay, so, but I did. First of all, a little earlier, I heard you say that you were going to hell. Now, I'm pretty sure you were using that metaphorically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trust
okay.
me, I'm not trying to go. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, but I will just say that as applied to you and anyone else, the key thing is the only reason why they go to hell is because they've never accepted Jesus, the risen Savior, as their personal Savior and acknowledged to Him that He is the one and only true living God.
Right.
So, beyond that, I did just recently get knocked off of Medicaid, as a matter of fact.
You did?
And yes, sir. And the interesting
Can
thing
I ask
is,
how?
Well, okay.
You don't have to
it
tell
was
me the
clearly,
whole business. Just some of the outline things of why.
Right. Okay. And I first got on it basically right about the time COVID kicked in. And I have, right about that same time, I was diagnosed with thyroid problems.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to that, I was blessed with basically perfect health throughout my, throughout my life till about the time I turned 50 is when it just kind of started to go a little haywire.
Gotcha.
So I was kicked off of Medicaid, and it's simply because I am employed and have been employed for the last couple of years. I don't make a lot of money. I work at a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the money that I make, I pay my rent and my electric bill and gas bill and that sort of thing. And then there's nothing left over for me to buy any medications or whatever. But the reality is that I'm right at maybe $25,000 a year. I'm right at that point where they cut people off anyway and have been doing it for several years prior to today's vote.
Wow.
So,
honestly, though, Patrick, you'd probably be better if you quit your job. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that you probably have your health care and be able to apply for some of the socialist programs that some of our good Republican friends want to cut in the first place, so that you can get those things without having to, demean yourself to get a lesser paying job just so that you can have health care.
Well, right. And it does sound sort of nice, but the reality is, aside from the thyroid problems that I'm having, I am still capable. I'm blessed with both hands and both feet and able to walk. So I do have a job, and I'm just putting my trust in the Almighty that whatever happens. Tomorrow isn't promised to any of us.
Right.
And, the medical care that I have prior received the last several years was beneficial, and it had improved my situations. And but I cannot pay for most of those medications that I was on out of my own pocket.
I understand.
Because some of them are absolutely astronomical.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're correct. You and I are you're in my category as far as age is concerned, and some of those medications are, necessary. They're not something that you choose to take. They're necessary, and when you go and find out if you don't have insurance, and you go in to find out how much they cost at the local pharmacy, whether it's CVS, Walgreens, or any local ones, you find out the cost is astronomical. I went to go get a new blood pressure medicine to just to give you my incident. And I went to there to go find out just how much it was, but my insurance didn't cover it yet because it was a combination of 3 or 4 different high blood pressure medicines combined, and it was a new drug that they hadn't put on the market yet as far as being covered by insurance. But I wanted it because I didn't want to be taking 2 and 3 different pills. And when they told me that a 30-day supply of that medicine, if I wanted it and I had to buy it myself, was going to cost me almost $900. I was like, for the medicine for 30 days? She said, yep, that's going to be your price per month. I was like, that's a house note. That's a house note. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'll wait till they put it on the medicine, but they still, as of today, have not. I buy that outright. So yeah, come see my show on Bourbon Street. I'm dancing on the pole tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. So,
Okay, well, have a nice day.
where are you calling from?
Orleans Parish.
Okay, so you are here. Well, I appreciate
Yes,
the
sir.
call.
I was born. Actually, it's been a few years since I called WBOK. I'd say probably about 5 years, maybe. Say like a decade back, I would have been more apt to call maybe once a month or something like that. But it's been a few years, so I was listening in today, and
well, don't be no stranger. Pick up the phone. Call me up. We all got a whole bunch in common. Whether I look like you or you look like me, we more than likely got a whole lot more in common than we do apart.
Yes.
So
maybe so.
I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Be blessed.
Bye bye. Average person that listens to this radio station, I would think probably older adults are on some type of medication. When you say some of us, I'm on a medication, more than one. Mm-hmm. You on?
Well,
you on the Netsy medication though? You got psychological problems. I wish you could see your face right now. That was a good one, boy. You're gonna be all right. Let me do this. You're gonna be okay.
Uh-huh. I should just cut the mic off and leave you hanging.
Keep going. Keep going.
Uh-huh. I got a whole organizer at home.
Oh, you got the organizer now?
Yeah.
You got to do that?
Yep. Because I take a lot of supplements also.
I'm trying not to.
I got organizer. I got this, I got that, I got that and the other.
So let me ask this question. You ready? Do you have the organizer? I can't see you sitting down with each bottle pill and taking it. Why you make Donna do that?
Every Sunday night I do it.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Donna does.
Don't touch that.
Donna. He lying, ain't he?
She might not be listening, but
she gonna call me later.
I do it every Sunday night religiously.
So how many you got in one organizer? That many?
Yeah. I got stuff for my sinuses, my pressure, my diabolicalism.
Diabolicalism?
Diabetes.
Oh. I was like, that's diabolical?
My heart pressure, my heart medicine.
Right. So you're already at 3 or 4, right?
I think I take about 7.
So I got to do. So I went and got the blood pressure medicine that has more than one medicine.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's new. So
it's new.
Amlodipine.
Yeah. Be careful with that amlodipine.
Yeah, I know.
I got off of it.
It's a very low dose.
I got off it because it kept making my leg
make
swell.
Your leg swell up. Yeah.
And remember, I was walking around here limping. It's because of amlodipine.
That's what it is?
Yep. They thought it was gout. It wasn't gout.
Right. That's how I can say. I thought you said it was gout.
Mm-mm. I thought it was too until I got tested.
So I got amlodipine. What's the other one? The hisartalin, something chlorpheniramine, whatever the hell. Don't give me that. Tell you what it is.
I take losartan and
propanol and another one, all combined in one pill. And it's expensive. It's very expensive.
Like I said, be careful with the amlodipine.
Yeah, I may have to get off because mine.
It's not for us.
Yeah, it's
like lisinopril. Not for us.
Which one?
Lisinopril.
Really?
Yeah. Lisinopril will give you a cough, make your lips swell, look like a pufferfish.
Now, I'm looking for my my favorite doctor too. I haven't seen her, and the other doctors are all jealous why I won't come to them as quick as I go to her.
My doctor,
Dr. Johnson.
My doctor is Dr. Timpton. Love her to death.
My favorite doctor is Dr. Johnson. She's an MP, and she worked over at what's the place off of St. Bernard? What's the name of that clinic off of St. Bernard?
I have no idea. I don't go that way too much.
But she's the best. She look at you. You know, she know who I am, so she'd be looking at me like, You ain't doing what you're supposed to do, huh? Of course I am, she said. Why are you lying? I don't want to hear it. This is what I see, and the numbers don't lie. So this is what we going to do. You either get it right, or I'm going to admit you in the hospital. Which one you want? And I'm like, Dr. Johnson, but she said, no. I'm not trying to hear that. This is what you guys. I was like, that's somebody's mama.
I just did my blood work.
That's not just somebody's doctor. That's somebody's mama because she talked to you like she's somebody's mama. No. I was like, no. No. This is what we gonna do. Now, Al 1 is fine with me. Then I saw it at church. I was with the sheriff. Guess what she did? Walked up to the sheriff.
And told her.
Good for you. So, the sheriff reminds me about that every week. Did you take your blood pressure medicine? Excuse me? Yes, indeed. Where is Dr. Johnson? All right, we'll find her. More coming up, folks. News is next.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. New York Police Department Commissioner Jessica Tisch says the city has hit a record low for shooting victims, with 397 people shot in the first half of the year, down 24% from last year. Black Mayor Eric Adams, who's running for re-election as an independent, says the reduction in crime is impressive in other categories too.
Homicides down, rape, robbery, felony assault down, burglary down.
Tisch credits strategic policing and gun removals. Black Hall of Famer Randy Moss is returning to ESPN's Sunday Countdown after missing 2 months last season for cancer treatment. Moss, who had surgery and chemo, will resume his full schedule in Week 1. And the D.C. Council may change rules that could impact the former Black Council member Trayon White, who's running to reclaim his Ward 8 seat after being expelled. Chair Phil Mendelson's proposal will let the council remove recently expelled members seeking re-election without a new investigation. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Deborah, did you see what Cedric said about you?
Yeah, Purple. I see that, bro. I saw that. It's the other way around.
He said that.
And look who's
like
talking.
Buddy Love swelling into Sherman Clump.
Nah, that's the other way around. Now back about 10 years ago when I was 388 pounds, yeah. But now I'm 265. It ain't happening. Can you say the same?
Y'all sharing too much, bro. But he did say you're swelling into Sherman Clump. I just want you to know.
Could never be.
Well, and you got your pill organizer. Boy, that's
Yep. And it's purple and gold too.
Is that an old man thing?
Yeah.
Why do you have a organizer?
Gotta keep track of stuff, bro.
So you don't know what pills you got to take?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and go through every single bottle plus my supplements and put that into my hand every day and try to remember what I took when. No. Mm-mm.
But you've been pretty good because you drink a lot of water.
Yep.
I saw
Strictly
you,
water.
Huh?
Strictly water.
Yeah, and you bring it with you. So you have been doing the right thing. Me, on the other hand,
Well, I mean, you don't have a Dr. Pepper today, so you got.
I have been doing wonderful. Now I'm not gonna sit up and tell you I don't drink them at all. But you have not seen me with them. Now
I haven't seen you with them in a minute.
Right. Now once or twice, I just need that acid.
Bruh, remember that bottle of orange Fanta that was sitting on the counter back there?
Is it still out there?
One of those kids must have drank it. When Justin treated us to some pizza one day, and they had the what you call it, pineapple flavor. I said, man, I haven't had that in years. So I decided to take a taste. Bro, I almost choked when that carbonation hit me. It was so strong, I couldn't taste the pineapple at all. I tasted nothing but carbonation.
Yeah.
I said, now I know why I don't drink those damn things.
Now,
it's not good for you.
I had to have the acid one day because it felt like I had and I know a lot of folks going like, boy, they sharing a lot today, but it just felt. You ever felt like you just got that gas stuck? And make you want to burp. You just want to burp. So I drunk that.
That's too easy, bro.
Huh?
That's too easy.
I know. I know it was, but it's the truth. So I drunk that.
I will let you slide on that one.
But it's the truth.
It's true.
I drunk that just because I needed to burp, to belch, and it ain't do nothing but make me belch. And then I felt guilty after I drunk it because Dr. Johnson told me that I need to get off of all of those soft drinks. And she ain't lying. She not lying. I need to get off them soft drinks. I've
been off of soda since I lived in L.A. and I came back to New Orleans in '87. So that's how many years I've been off of sodas.
You know who I used to preach that to? Paul Boulier.
Yeah, I heard Paul used to down some Cokes.
Paul used to bring a carton of 12 Cokes with him to work. He would come to work early, and by the time that he left, I just about drunk that whole carton. That's every day. That's every day.
Well, look who you guys were working for. Can you blame him?
Huh?
Look who you guys were working for.
Oh, no, that was me drinking vodka. But anyway.
You thought it was happy hours around here.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, that just proved to me how that could damage you, because drinking that carton of Coca-Cola, that's what
I'm
Paul drank.
surprised he wasn't diabetic.
He was.
Oh, he was, and he was drinking that? Man, that's suicide.
And then got to the point where, the doctor told him, you need to drink something else. He went to Coke Zeros. I'm like, Paul, you still drinking Cokes, though.
Yeah, and it's that carbonation, man.
All that carbonation and all that other, it might be sugar-free, but you don't know what else is in it. And I think that had a lot to do with his early death, because that's just.
Because he wasn't a big man at all.
Huh?
He wasn't a big man at all.
No, not at all. So those were the days, though. Those were the days. The other thing too that I wanted to bring up with everybody is that you have to bring into play, as we're talking about this, what we eat. And I know in New Orleans, and I ain't talking about nobody in particular as far as their food is concerned, we have some of the best foods here in the world. Not only are they spicy, Cajun-like, have that Creole flavor, but they also contain a lot of butters, a lot of salt, a whole bunch of stuff, fats that might not be good for us, depending upon. And I'm so glad to see that there's a new flavor of restaurants that are opening up in New Orleans. I don't know if y'all go on TikTok. I don't know who's a TikToker and who's not. But if y'all are, go ahead on a request or follow me, because I'm on TikTok. The minute I go and put stuff on. I get a lot of folks that are on there, so they let me know that somebody's seeing it. But y'all go on TikTok too, because I'm starting to see a lot of youngsters, and I can call you young. I don't care if y'all offended or not. I can call you young because y'all younger than me, that have taken their education of food, culinary arts, and said, let's do this thing ourselves. And y'all are doing it yourselves, and a lot of you have become so conscious of putting food together that's good for you, but also tastes good. And I'm seeing a lot of our younger folks that are enjoying these places. And I think it is important. Now, this is something, too, that I think. Because we got one of the biggest black events that is coming to this era and this area this week. Mostly all the folks are going to be here, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And over the weekend, going to the Superdome, going to the Convention Center. They're going tonight with the Welcome Affair. to see Shantae Moore at the Orpheum. Tomorrow night, they got the mayor's party, and they also have, I think the next night, the congressman's party. And with all these different events that are coming in, all these folks that are coming into town that want to be a part of the festivities, I really do think it will take somebody like us to talk about these black restaurants, these black food trucks that are here in the city that are getting no advertising, no pub. You don't see them all over the radio, but you see their TikTok. You see their Facebook. You see their Instagram. And if we're going to go and eat somewhere, instead of giving those folks that already got it, why aren't we having a conversation about supporting these businesses that are putting their all in? Because look, one of the hardest things to run is a restaurant, because folks are sometimes they happy for you, but most of the time they looking around and saying, well, who is he or who is she? Who do they think they are? Da 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 da, and they don't get the service. They don't get the people, and they end up having to shut down. So why aren't we supporting them? That's a good question. And now would be the time you would see them take the heck off, because everybody is coming to town. Y'all know one of my favorite places to go get my food is Little Dizzy's. Oh, I think the Baquet food is some of the best food. And I always get my Baquet trout with some candied yams and the dirty rice. Or if you want your fried chicken, make sure you go up there and get that white box. And if you've been over to Little Dizzy's, you'll see that they're expanding. They're working on what's in the back parking lot, area where you can sit outside or where you can order outside. They're expanding. So I like that. I also like going over to Duke Chase or Chapter 4 or Mondays. Y'all been to Mondays before? Well, y'all know we used to do broadcasts over at Mondays. Go to Morrow's. Go to these places that aren't really being thought about in the general market advertising, but they there, and you supporting your own folks. Go to them. And if anything that I forgot, y'all welcome to call and tell me. Because there are a lot of restaurants. There are a lot of people that's fixing food. There's a lot of caterers out there. Y'all are doing the daggone job. But I'm looking around and saying to myself, are you all getting the publicity? And when I always think about that, I always come up with the same answer. Hell no. And the reason why, I think the biggest part of it has to do with the officials that are running this city. Oh, Gerard. Why would you say that? So let me get angry for a minute. The majority of people that love to come to New Orleans love to come to New Orleans for the culture. They love to come for the ambiance. They love to come to see. They like what we do. And honestly, the culture of New Orleans has everything to do with black folks. They love the food. They love the music. They love the good times. The majority of it is. So I have yet to figure out a city that has a city council that is headed up by one of the fakest ass Negroes that I've ever seen in my life. Why do you all cut out the folks that make the culture that the people come to the city to see in the first place? You all put ordinances up that cancel out people that want to do business, no matter if they come into the French Quarter, no matter if they're in the CBD. And if I'm not mistaken, y'all seriously giving consideration of cutting folks out for being under the Claiborne Bridge. What? What? Y'all better be glad I don't live out there where I can say I'm going to run for this, because I'm going to put in the ordinance that says, okay, for all of you all that can't get business done and want to really just go outside of the box, I'm going to get a satellite area out of New Orleans East where we're going to have our own festival. Instead of Essence Fest, it's the East Fest, where we're going to put a whole bunch of pop-ups. We're going to put trucks. We're going to put a stage out there, and I do it off of Reed across the street right over there by the Goodwill, because that's an area where everybody can go. Hell, y'all know it because y'all went over there and parked when the Super Soul Circus came. And I'm thinking to myself, why wouldn't we do something like that when all these folks are coming to town? But instead of ordinances that say we can, we get ordinances that say we can't. And I thought that this city was told to me that the ordinances that were coming is that we are going to be a city no more of what you can't do, but what you can do. I thought we were going to be a city of what you can do. I thought that was what was told. But when can we? Time running out. When do you hear it? And I done got to the point now where I'm like, I don't believe nothing you Negroes say. Nothing. Nothing. Tell me one person that you know locally that made $1 million during the festival. I mean, this ain't one day. This is, tell me a person within 2 years that you know that has made $1 million during that time. I'll wait. All right, let me make it better. Tell me a person within 2 years of this festival that live here that made $500,000. I mean, we take our kids and we put them into different places so that they can learn culinary skills because they got arrested to keep them out of jail. How about we take our kids, and we're going to say this is a culinary type of town. How come we can't take our kids and put them in a better place of learning culinary skills because that's what they want to do? Don't put my child in nobody's restaurant to work because you want to keep them out of jail. Let's go. James, what you say?
Chilling. Good evening. and you put a lot, you know, you was begging on somebody to call you, son. So you got me. I'll be your huckleberry. Got a whole lot of ideas, you know, and the city will block us. Yep. People will block us.
Yep.
But I've been saying this on this station from the morning to the evening. Bro, we could do a whole lot in New Orleans East, man. And I ain't talking about defect. I ain't talking about defecting. I ain't talking, you know, I would like to. That would be dope. That would be dope if we had our own. But I'm sure your producer would be like one of the ones that would tell you why it's not a good idea for us to defect. You know, we have the airport, but people like, man, I don't want the airport flying all over my house all night long.
Right.
I think people ain't gonna deal with that. You see what I'm saying? It's an economic boost. But that's another story. That's how I see it. That's just my opinion. Bro, we could do crawfish off. We got a whole bunch of buildings out there that will allow for culinary classes. Mm-hmm. We got a whole lot of, they got buildings that dilapidated in this city that we constantly going outside, getting outside contractors to fix and they don't even know nothing about our topography or the temperature or the weather
Right.
to keep the buildings in whole. Like there's a line building across from one of the properties I see fit to manage, and you can't pressure wash it because all you're gonna do is bust up the line.
Yes, indeed.
So there are tools and tricks that people could be learning right now, and they could refurb that building and put it back into commerce and make it, or either just make it look like something. It's historical, you know. But we'll rather arrest our way out of situations. You know, you the big bad boogeyman, and bro, just look at the numbers, bro. There's more white people on drugs. There's more white people committing crimes. There's more white people on food stamps. There's more white people on subsidy. There's more white people on handle. Yet and still, these jackasses up there in northern Louisiana look down on us and worry about what we doing.
Yeah.
They hurting us, but they killing them, and they don't even care. They hurting us, but they killing them and don't even care, bro.
Nope.
I'm just saying, we got a whole bunch of solutions. Brother Iran will always say, we got right what we need right here. And I agree.
Yep.
We cook the best, we dance the best, we party the best, we dress the best. All that stuff could be right out there in the East by where but you can have it. You want the French Quarter, man, better have it. See when they get tired of eating that mayonnaise with pepper in it, they gonna run their asses out there by us, man, and we gonna close the door on them.
Not the mayonnaise with the pepper, though, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? With that whatever that gravy is they like to put on their biscuits. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid.
Yes, indeed.
So, but anyway, that's just me, bro, and I mean it to be insulting.
I got you.
All right, bro.
I understood. All right, James. Thank you, brother. Cedric.
Hey, man, I want to speak quickly in reference to Essence.
Okay.
Our political leaders are not demanding certain things. Our political leaders are not using their influence to ask for favors. And what I'm saying is this: I use the little influence I have with a certain person, and you know him. And if he gets in town early, I'm going to try to bring him to WBOK like I've done before. Because they kind of bring some of the entertainment. They perform Sunday night. So I asked him, yo, man, would you think about doing this person? Would you think about doing that person? And the two people that I recommended, he brought it to Essence, and they performed. So in my opinion, because our political leaders don't have vision, the people are perishing. If I can do it as I met them being a limo driver, now I'm their brother from another mother, what do you think they can do if they have titles behind their names? But instead, we got a city council president doing videos yesterday celebrating black queers while you're disrespecting a black mayor who's a female and a black sheriff who's a female. And I don't have nothing against queer people, but I wish he had the same love and respect that you have for that segment, have it for black women. So in my opinion, our political leaders are not using their influence, and this is why we continuously and constantly have lack in our communities. You know, Gerard, this morning I got a text about second line bands. And this is in reference to perhaps Essence. So nevertheless, if I can use the little influence that I have, we need the mayor and the city council to use theirs. And thank you for allowing me to say that. And Producer Wick, man, I'm sorry, man. I love you, my brother.
Yeah, no, you got him, bro. That was a good one. That was a good one, bro.
Yeah, but you know you can't rib a prank. You can't prank a prankster.
You can't. Yeah, you can. You got him. You got him.
I just don't understand, man, why our people are so visionless. Our leaders.
Yeah, I don't understand this either. But I gotten to the point now where I'm like, we worried about one segment of the population in the city. We ain't talking about uptown. We're not talking about the West Bank. We're not talking about what's happening in the East, in the little Ninth Ward, Mid-City. Nothing when it comes to essence. What is the city doing? Not one section of the city. Nothing. So.
Hey, man, our leaders, they're not demanding. They're not, I don't think they're asking, because you ask before you demand. Because you'll be surprised when you mention something to people, how they react.
Yep.
And one of the people that represents us well with Essence, and she's getting a bum deal, is our hip-hop legend, Mia X.
Yeah, I heard she's not getting
She's
paid.
the one that she advocates for people here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nevertheless, Mama Mia, thank you for what you do for your city that you love.
All right, Cedric.
You have a good one, man.
You too. All right, more coming up, y'all. We got to take a break.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. As BET's co-founder, Sheila Johnson has a ton of experience in media, but a lot's changed since she first got the black-focused entertainment cable network off the ground. Johnson spoke to Bloomberg about the state of media and what black audiences might be seeking out now.
I just think that the landscape and the racial landscape of what African Americans are watching is changing. And I just think that we have got such a broad perspective of people out there that want something different, especially this younger generation. So we need to reevaluate what are the goals of black media and what are the answers? What is it out there that we need to answer?
According to Nielsen, just over 50% of black viewers feel there isn't enough content on TV from people of their identity group. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
New Schools for New Orleans is committed to finding and keeping great teachers for our students. If you or someone you know is interested in becoming a teacher for the 24-25 school year, visit our website to learn more and apply. www.neworleansteacherjobboard.org.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Pop Jones.
Hey, G-Man.
What's going on with you?
Oh, everything and nothing.
Yeah, that's a hard balance you got going on.
Gee, man, let me tell you this. I've been on this planet a long time.
Mm.
And I see look like they're going back. 'Cause when I was coming up as a kid, not see what they call a trash man.
Mm-hmm.
They used to call that the garbage man.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't even allow blacks to be a garbage man. Only white winos was garbage men.
I thought they allowed black people to be garbage men, but they didn't allow them to.
No, not when I was coming up.
Okay.
Not in New Orleans as a kid. No, they didn't allow you to be a garbage.
You couldn't even be a hopper?
You couldn't be nothing.
Wow.
The only thing I know you could be was a flambeau carrier.
Mm.
You couldn't do nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the one thing that we had was a hustle. They had the vegetable man, the fruit man. I got red, right? Watermelon, sweet apples, sweet peaches, all that cabbage. You could make you hustle.
So was you
Even the rag man.
You was the fruit man? You was the vegetable man?
Yeah.
That's what you did?
They took all that from us.
Mm.
When the Jazz Fest, when it was having real jazz, you could make your hustle around the Jazz Fest. Sell something. They closed all that down. And I just found out not too long ago that I say all the money that was coming off the bridge was going to Lake Charles. I found that out. So look like we only supporting other parts of Louisiana. And all the laws, and when I was coming up, there was no such thing as a black official nowhere in the city. Now, since we have all the black officials, look like all the laws that's passed is against the black citizens. I've been trying to figure that one out. But
what
I
did you
guess
come up
if
with?
you don't vote or you don't register to vote or you don't hold their feet to the fire, I guess you get what you get. They got people running for office haven't done anything for black Americans. I think it's an insult. They only did something for certain people, but it looked like to me they could buy us with a pork chop sandwich and a beer or a ham sandwich.
And one.
But I don't see why they should vote for some of these people. Because they'll let you know. They just like the president. They'll let you know how they feel about you, but yet you're gonna put them in office.
Well,
so
let's think about this for a minute. Let's think about what you just said. What used to be, what used to be, compared to what is now.
Right.
All right. So what we have seen, Pop, is a turn for the worse. Instead of going forward, it looks like we're going backwards.
Yes.
What you got to understand in this whole scenario of things, for some folks, that's where they want to be. For us,
what day are you talking about?
Now hold on, wait a minute. Let me go forward with this. Now for us, me, you, and a dog named Boo that's supposed to understand what's going on.
Oh, a dog named Boo.
You know that dog.
Right.
You know that dog. But that whole particular incidents that we're crossing can be labeled, I would say, as racial. But a lot of them, I really think that a lot of them are being labeled as power. As long as I got my foot on your neck, I can't worry about you. I don't give a daggone what race you are. And as long as you do what I say, it's about power. And in that whole definition of power, I would say money, who's getting it. And well, let me say this, because this is where I go, and this is what I found out about New Orleans. When I first moved to New Orleans, you had entrepreneur people that were looking like me and you that got involved in politics, that would run for office, that had contracts, that would employ people, that would give people money to run for office. We all saw that, but I don't think we ever labeled it as what it was. This was about power. So we would see folks that had the means and the well-offness to do this, but we never really categorized it as, we just saw, I'll put it this way, we saw Mr. Alvin and Jimmy, our trash owners, do the work. And they could do the work, so they got the contracts. What we didn't understand about their whole scenario, because there's a whole nother scenario that goes along with these two African-American men that other folks saw, but we didn't. So we were wondering, how would you run for office if you don't have no money? But you had two multimillionaires that got these contracts that could put set-asides to fund some of these people to run for office. You saw these two African-American vendors that had contracts that would be able to donate money to the local boys camp or the local girls camp so they could get their uniforms and they could go and compete. We would have these multimillionaire entrepreneurs that would support your church, be able to give you something. But see, what we didn't realize is the fact that one day it might go away because you had a whole bunch of folks that were trying to say, oh, they doing something wrong or they ain't doing right. We need to get rid of them, da-da-da-da. So when they went away, all of them folks, because you're hearing now in the political arena that they don't have no money. There ain't no money. There ain't no money. And you're hearing a lot of folks, so you're starting to see a lot of these little clubs that are hanging out on the side of the street with buckets now, trying to collect dollar bills from you. There's traffic that's coming because they don't have those folks no more that can write those checks to support your basketball team, football team, cheerleading competition. They went away because we didn't make sure that they kept those contracts. Those contracts meant a whole lot to a whole lot of folks. Those nonprofits now that are shutting down because they don't have any support from those vendors that supported those contracts. It's a whole lot that went with those tentacles. That's what I'm trying to say, Pop, that we never really talked about.
Look, G-Man, you probably wasn't here when Claiborne Street was our corner. We didn't care nothing about even going on Canal Street. South Rampart was good enough. We didn't care nothing about the French Quarters.
Of course not. That's because y'all were quarantined.
No.
Y'all were quarantined. Y'all were not allowed, even though that we may have said something about civil rights at that time. They didn't want y'all in those different stores. Y'all, when I got here, I was hearing the stories about people saying I couldn't go into a store and try on a hat unless they had on.
Oh, no, they had.
Right.
The only stores I know was Rubenstein Brothers
and Krause,
Stephen Porter's, and on Rampart Street. And guess what? I hate to use race, but they were Jewish people.
So what I'm saying is true. I never heard anything like that. I was like, we in the 90s. When I first moved here, we was in the 90s. I was like, are you kidding me?
You could go and make some blinds and stores like that. You had to buy as is. You couldn't try on nothing.
So, you just making my case.
And the 10-cent store, as we call it, Woolworth places.
But one of the best things that I can say,
little restaurant in the.
But one of the best things that I can say is that you could go into the store. What's the Hatter store? What's the man that's the Hatter? What'd it say?
Why is the Hatter?
I could
Been there
go in
100
his store.
years.
I could go in his store and try on hats.
Yeah, that was the place. I think they're still there. It must be the great grandchildren there or something that's running wild as a hatter. They've been there for years.
So I think that we can have a conversation about legacy. And we learned a lot when a lot of folks said, hey, don't fall in love with it, make it, build it, and then sell it. But legacy I think for African Americans has been a whole lot more than building it and then selling it. I think that for African Americans, it's building it and making sure that if you have kids, that you teach them the business as well, so they'll have somewhere to fall.
Well, Gerard, can I say this? Look, it say that we bring everybody to New Orleans, the Zulu and everything. A lot of these other people, they come from all over the world to New Orleans.
Right.
Man, mostly because of us.
I asked the question. I'm still waiting for the answer.
We don't get a piece of the pie.
I asked the question. I'm still waiting for the answer. How many folks that you know made $1 million, $500,000, and now I'm going to take it down to $250,000 off an event that is geared to us?
This stop Major Riley she tried for the longest to get her place down to the quarter. They was like if she was trying to rob a bank or something.
Yeah. Oh, well, sometimes it's our fault. But look, I got to take these other calls. Everybody holding on.
All right. Thank you for taking my call.
I appreciate you much, my friend. I'll talk to you later. All right. Eric.
Hey, Gerard.
What's happening?
It's your favorite listener, man.
I see. 3 days
yeah,
in a row. I'm ecstatic, as you can hear the joy that is coming out of my face right now.
Yeah, now that I'm off the do not fly list. I
didn't say that you were off the do not fly. I might give you another chance here, but what you got?
All right. Well, I just wanted to comment about a few things. When you were saying about, let me just kind of encapsulate it. It sounds like, Gerard, you were saying that the city's been sold out by city council members, right?
When you say so?
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm asking you the question though. Aren't you saying you don't think so?
Well, no, I'm not disagreeing with you or
I'm asking
agreeing
you the question,
with you.
though.
All I'm saying is
I'm asking you the question though. I'm asking you the question though. Would you or would you not agree?
Oh, okay. Well, look. Let's just say that's true, right?
No,
well,
I need you to answer the question, and the question is: would you agree or disagree?
Well, I'm not disagreeing with anything that you've said.
But you're not answering my question.
But wait, listen. This is the point though. What do all the members of the city council have in common? There's one common factor they all have in common.
What?
They're all members of the Louisiana Democratic Party, right? And they're all members of the Democrat Party. And so it sounds to me, gee, like you've been sold out by the DNC. That's what it sounds like.
But a lot of folks got issues with the DNC as they also have issues with the RNC. So
okay, but
I'm not talking about a party. I'm talking about the individuals that are living in this city, whether they're Republican or they're Democrat, that have the same issues that I could be damn Stevie Wonder and can see that this city needs something else other than stuff that you can't do. So I'm looking at and seeing ordinances that says what I can't do, but we said a long time ago during this administration that we will no longer be the city of can't. We will be the city of can. So what have we done for the folks that want to be entrepreneurs that let them be the city that they're supposed to be and tell me what they can do instead of telling me what they can't do?
Well, again, it sounds like you've been sold out by the DNC. It sounds like it's another
I'm
problem.
going to stress it to you again. I'm not talking
the
about the parties.
Democrat-ran cities.
I'm talking about the individuals that run this thing, whether they are Republican, whether they're Democrat,
there are none.
or
There are
whatever
none.
they are. Right.
Gerard,
So
hello.
what does-
There are none.
But
There
what does-
are no Republicans in Orleans Parish.
You don't
There
think that
are
there's
no-
a Republican Party in the city of New Orleans?
Not any office holder. No one on the city council, the mayor, the courthouses. No publicly elected position. none.
You'd be surprised on how many Republicans are leading the
There are
charge in
none.
New Orleans. You'd be surprised.
Like who? Okay,
You'd be
who?
surprised.
I mean, who on the
Maybe
city-
one day we'll invite the RNC to come in and be a part of the conversation so that you'll know
Well-
that they are.
well,
Because I was surprised. I'm surprised that you're not a member.
Well, no, I belong to no party.
Like
But
I
look, this is
said,
the point
I'm
trying
surprised
to
that
make
you're
here.
not a member.
No, this is what I'm trying to make a point though. You see, when it's a Democrat ran city or when it's a Republican ran city, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. They all know no one's going to step out of line. Whatever they do, the other people are going to go along with it. One hand washes the other. You don't have anyone to disrupt it. You don't have an independent. You don't have anyone to upset the apple cart, right?
And the
And
RNC
so
did
this-
what? I mean, they proving themselves now with the number of folks that they're getting ready to hurt with this big, beautiful bill.
Well, the point I'm trying to make though is that maybe if you had some outsiders in Orleans Parish, maybe if you had someone of a different party, maybe that one person would be the disruptor needed to get things done.
So you don't think
but
that the city of
unfortunately-
New Orleans is being run by a lot of outsiders?
No, what I'm saying, it's being run by insiders. All of the insiders are members of the Louisiana DNC, the mayor, city council, all of the judges. I mean, they have it locked up, right? And so, it's like being part of a club, And if you're a club, you expect your club members are going to go along with you.
So
They're
I
not
would
gonna
tell you
upset the
that
apple cart.
evidently there's a lot of folks that may agree with you on that, and the reason why, whether I want to believe it or not, the reason why I know that there are a lot of folks that agree with you on that is the fact that we have a large amount of independents that are not part of the Democrats or the Republicans. I think the last average number that I saw of independents was over 30,000.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, they don't get elected into office enough, and so, like I said, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. And so, what winds up happening is that everyone gets sold out, and then you have a very few upper class of people who are doing very, very well, like the judges, like the city council members, like the mayor, and all of these important jobs, right? And they're all doing very well. And so, I don't think it's so much a matter of race as it is a matter of class, right? So when you get to a certain status,
Did you go to
start
classism on this one? You went to classism?
well, gee, when you get to a certain status, you start hanging out with people who are in your same status. You don't think that, like you call him Mr. Redbottoms or Leslie Harris or Mr. Green from the city council, you don't think they're hanging out with Pookie and Ray Ray, do you?
Pookie and Ray
Absolutely
Ray
not.
could
They
teach
might
them
show you a
some things.
picture. They might post a picture up every now and then when it comes time for election season. But during their normal day, no.
Maybe.
Sorry, G.
That's all right. I guess
All
I'll
right,
be
thanks,
hanging
man.
out with Pookie and them here.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later,
Okay,
Eric. I gotta
thanks
take
a
a
lot.
break.
All right.
All right, man. All right, more coming up, y'all.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. It's been an all-night legislative marathon on Capitol Hill as senators grind through a vote-a-rama on President Trump's massive spending bill. Started Monday morning into Tuesday with the final vote not in sight. At stake, a multi-trillion-dollar bill slashing $930 billion from Medicaid over the next decade and imposes new work requirements, potentially stripping coverage from over 11 million people by 2034, according to the CBO report. Democrats, with not enough voting power, forced the bill's full reading this week to slow the process and fired off amendments targeting Trump's safety net cuts. Republicans trying to hold the line and tweak provisions, like one amendment barring unemployment for millionaires and another led by Marsha Blackburn blocking a 10-year ban on state AI regulations. Both the House and Senate versions of the bill could leave millions uninsured and gut critical services. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Kudos to our Democratic Congressman Troy Carter from New Orleans. Perhaps y'all missed it, but several days ago, during a House hearing at the nation's capital, Congressman Carter confronted Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. about his agency's decision to cut research funding for HIV and AIDS studies. Specifically, Carter mentioned a study focused on HIV in adolescents and HIV vaccine research funding. While squirming in his seat, at times looking like a deer caught in headlights, Kennedy attempted to explain that funding for AIDS research had not been cut, saying that his department is simply trying to consolidate its efforts regarding the millions of dollars being spent to study HIV and AIDS. Kennedy further argued that Health and Human Services has 27 departments assigned to look at HIV, spending some $7.5 billion annually. Kennedy denied outright making the decision to make those cuts. Congressman Carter wasn't having that, and he read from a document that verified the cuts were indeed made back in May, with the Trump administration having argued that current approaches to HIV research was sufficient. During a heated exchange, Carter suggested that cutting AIDS and HIV research amounts to cutting lives that could be lost. Kennedy's shocking reply, folks, was, quote, "Show me one life," end quote. That answer understandably infuriated Carter, who replied, quote, "Sir, I'm insulted that you would suggest that there aren't lives that have been lost," end quote. This exchange, mind you, simply exemplifies the chasm that exists between Trump, Kennedy, and their allies, and Carter and Democrats when it comes to public health concerns, specifically those who are considered among the outer margins of society. God help us. This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
On this week's edition of The Way Forward, it's time to push your brilliance. We'll get into that. Plus, I'll share what's good, the Go Forward message, and tell you about something that you need to know. Good stuff in the community. Join me Saturday at 3 p.m. It's The Way Forward with Eddie Francis here on WBOK 1230 AM or streaming live at WBOK1230.com and the Play Ode app. On WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Every Friday at noon on WBOK.
Hey, New Orleans, look for important changes to your natural gas service. This summer, Delta Utilities takes over for Entergy Gas with a Louisiana-born, Louisiana-based approach to safe, clean, reliable natural gas. No interruptions or rate changes due to the transition, just dependable service and modernized technology to keep you running smoothly. Get to know us at deltautilities.com and stay tuned for more later this summer. Delta Utilities, focused on natural gas, committed to New Orleans.
Saints of God, it's time for us to tell you the truth. It's time for you to start your 21-day challenge. Don't take another day. Do it right now. Call 504-701-4711. That's the Whole Water Stove, Pastor David Impartian Sr., the host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. This is the water that's designed to change your body, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you look. Why don't you start your 21-day challenge today? For $35, you can start it right now. Call me so we can set up your appointment. 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. Change your water, change your mind.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
When you talk, we listen. WBOK. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. Ooh, Lord. So, how long I got? Only 3 minutes. That's all I got. I only got 3 minutes. All right, this is what I'll say in my 3 minutes. What's concerning me is and I told somebody else this. I'm gonna leave it to myself though. I told somebody else this the same today. What's terrible to me is that I think that we live in a city where creativity has walked out the door, and those that have the creativity are scared to use it because of the fact that somebody's either going to steal it from them, they don't have the right people in place with creativity, and it ain't just sitting in city council. It ain't just sitting in the mayor's office. It's folks that could bring some creativity to the city to say, hey, we doing something different here. Are we scared to be progressive? Are we scared to do something different? Progressiveness. Are we scared of it? That's a whole show right there. That's a whole show. And it might be a whole show. You heard me. Yeah, you just started the music up on me, right? Ah, damn. You just started.
I thought you was finished.
No, you didn't. You tried to get.
I really did. Because you took that pause and you looked at me
Okay.
and laughed.
All right. I'm going to go. All right, folks. Tomorrow, tell somebody. Make sure you hear. It's going to make you go, what? We'll see you tomorrow, y'all. Take care.